Mr. Rishi Anand, who is the MD and CEO of Aadhar Housing Finance, joining us right now. Very good morning, Rishi, and thank you so much for your time. First of all, onto your earnings, your spreads were actually flat on a sequential basis, even after the asset side hike, and also have said that you expect the spreads to decline by 5 to 10 basis points going ahead in the next 2 quarters. Firstly, if you can put in context, what are the reasons for this and how much incremental disbursement yields are you expecting going forward? What's your sense on this?
Okay, very good morning, Shrishti and Cheryl, both of you. You spoke about, yeah, the numbers for the quarter have been very interesting, and to the benefit of the company, AUM, as you said, grew about 21%, disbursement about 18%, profit after tax grew about 15%. The numbers are as in the expected lines. You spoke about spreads. We have always indicated that our incremental spreads, our spreads will always be in the range of about 5.5 to 5.75. 5.9 is what we have posted for the quarter. So, as we go ahead, I think the guidance is clearly on 5.7, and the exit for the year should be about 5.7 to 5.8%. The way it works is, we have on the borrowing side, we have 77% of our book on the borrowing is floating, and about 80% on AUM is floating. Anything incremental on beyond the spreads that I mentioned, whether it is northwards or southwards, is to be passed on to the customer. Whether the rates increase or the rates decrease, they are eventually passed on to the consumer. So we are very comfortably placed at about 5.9 right now. Exit spread, as I indicated, 5.7 to 5.8%.
Right. Very good morning to you, sir. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. Your cost of borrowings, if you see, have increased in the previous quarter to about 8.1% versus 8% in the previous quarter. What's the reason for this increase, and what was the incremental for funding cost this quarter?
So my incremental funding cost for the quarter was 8.4%. The primary reason was on account of diversification that in the quarter that we are discussing. We were looking at diversification of the borrowing profile, and we looked at a couple of DFIs, which is ADB and IFC, where we secured some loans while they have now been accumulated and concluded. That was the primary reason for our cost of fund moving by about 20 bips.
All right, and also if we talk about some of the other internals then, or the first half of the FY25, the NIMs were at around 8.6%. What will be your guidance on NIMs going forward? Where can we see this number headed?
So NIMs should be comfortably placed in the range of about 8.8 to 9%. That has been the guidance throughout the year, and we will maintain that guidance, please.
Mr. Anand, I want to play the devil's advocate here. You've actually recently got upgrades coming in from rating agencies, and this despite your cost of funds having increased. If you could tell us what were the other factors they may have considered, and how is it possible?
So I would say it would have been a good news if we would have got a rating upgrade. We have not got a rating upgrade. We are still AA CARE and ICRA rated, and it is not on account of anything to do with the rating. As I indicated, this was purely the management had decided to diversify, and it was a call which was taken intentionally, and we diversified into DFIs. As you know, it is very prudent for any financial services company to have multiple sources of borrowing. Today, we stand at about 25% from NHB, about 25% in the NCD markets, and about 50% from the banks. And we are looking at a couple of more options, including ECBs. So that has been the primary reason. And as I indicated, year-end spread should be in the range of about 5.8, 5.9%.
All right, and also Rishi, one more point I wanted to highlight is that there are some bit of a concerns about the PE investor stake in the company, because your total promoter holding is at around 75.89%, though it has come down from like 76.5% levels in June quarter, but still more than that benchmark of 75%. So any conversation from the PE investors for more stake sale to happen in the near term?
So Blackstone, who were holding about 98.7% since June 2019, during the IPO process, during the listing process, they shelled out about 24-25% today, and you're right, today they hold about 76%. See, the way it works is, private equities typically have a fund life. They invest in companies through a fund. Fortunately for us, the fund life balance is about 4.5-5 years. So I don't see, and there are no discussions around, Blackstone, which is our private equity investor, the largest investor, in any hurry to divest any further.
Mr. Anand, around 3% of your customers have actually exposure to the MFI segment. Is there any stress with these customers? Any indications or hints you're getting on that particular front?
So Cheryl, you're right. About 3% of our consumers, through the scrub and through the regular monitoring that we do, we've seen that they have MFI exposures. Fortunately for us, we have to understand, MFI is more towards rural funding, where we plot our customers is more semi-urban and urban. So there is a thin line difference between what an MFI customer is and what a low-income housing finance customer is. Having said that, yes, you're right. 3% of our consumers, approximately about 9,000 consumers, have, out of a total of 280,000 customers, have exposure to MFI. As far as stress goes, and the stress in our case is measured through delinquencies, less than 1% of the consumers, so to be precise, only 0.4% of the consumers look a little stressed, which is about 1,000 customers.
All right, and also, Mr. Rishi, last time the company did say that post-September, customers are eligible for PMAY 2 subsidy, and the company was waiting for a release of the final guidelines to start the disbursement. Has the company started disbursement under this particular scheme?
So the way it works, Shrishti, is from 1st of September, all the loans that we have disbursed and that we are disbursing will be eligible for PMAY subsidy. The final contours have come, and fortunately, good question today, because on the 14th of this month, we are signing an MOU with the regulator, which is NHB, the nodal officer of the PMAY 2. And post 14th, I think the subsidy will start rolling in.
All right, then we leave it there. Thank you so much, Mr. Anand, for joining us on ET Now, for candidly answering all the questions, and all the best for you and the company for the future quarters.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.